There is a particular grief in being loved by someone and being unable to feel it land, to stand in the rain of a real affection and remain somehow dry, because a part of you decided long ago that love like this could not be meant for someone like you, and must therefore be a mistake, a manipulation, or a debt. I want to speak to the man who is loved and cannot believe it. You know the pattern, even if you have never confessed it. Someone offers you love, real love, freely given, and instead of receiving it, you investigate it. You search for the catch. You wait for the conditions to reveal themselves. You read the kindness as strategy, the devotion as a setup, the choosing of you as a thing that will be revoked the moment they understand who you actually are. And you call this caution. You tell yourself you are simply not a fool, that you have seen too much to take love at face value, that you are protecting yourself from the inevitable. I am going to tell you what that voice actually is, because it has been costing you the thing you most want, and it has been disguising itself as wisdom the whole time. The suspicion that love must have a hidden motive is not discernment. It is a wound, and it speaks in a very specific verdict. I am not the kind of thing that gets loved for itself. That verdict was installed in you somewhere, long before you had the power to refuse it. Perhaps love, in your earliest experience of it, always came attached to a price. You were loved when you performed, when you achieved, when you made yourself useful or pleasing or small, and the love withdrew when you stopped. Perhaps you learned that affection was a transaction, that everyone who came close was running an angle, that the people who said they loved you were really after something. Perhaps you simply were not loved in the way a child needs for the bare fact of existing, and you concluded the way every child does, that the absence was a verdict on you rather than a failure in them. However it happened, you arrived at adulthood carrying a certainty in your bones, that you are not lovable as you are, only as you perform, and therefore any love that arrives without your having earned it must be a counterfeit, a mistake, or a trap. And so you cannot receive love because you have made yourself unable to. Every offering that comes in gets routed through the wound, and the wound has only one question: what is this really, since it cannot be what it claims? And so the love never reaches you. You stand in it and stay dry, not because it is not real, because you have built a roof specifically to keep it out, having decided long ago that anything claiming to be that must be lying. So let me tell you what is often actually behind another person's love for you, the thing the wound will not let you consider. Sometimes there is no angle. Sometimes a person of genuine heart looked at you, at the real you, the flawed and ordinary and particular you, the one you are so certain is unlovable, and what they saw moved them. Not your usefulness, not your performance. You, the thing you keep braced for them to discover and flee from, is, in fact, the very thing they already saw and chose. They are not waiting to find out who you really are. They found out. That is what they love. And every time you audit their love for the hidden motive, you are calling them a liar about the truest thing. You are a gift. That is exactly to be. I want to be careful, because discern real, and not all love is clean. You have already seen of others how love can be counterfeited. So hear the difference. Real discernment examines a person's actions over time and reads the pattern honestly. The wound does something else entirely. It rejects love in advance, categorically, on the grounds that you could not possibly be worth it. Discernment asks, is this person trustworthy? The wound asserts, I am not lovable, so this must be false. One is wisdom. The other is a verdict against yourself wearing wisdom's coat. You can tell them apart by where the doubt points. Discernment points at their behavior. The wound points at your worth. So here is the work. And it is gentler and harder than anything we have spoken of in the darker rooms. The work is to let love land,
to catch yourself in the act of auditing, and to consider, even for a moment, even as an experiment, that the person is telling the truth, that you are seen and loved, and that the seeing and the loving are not in conflict, that the catch you keep waiting for is not coming, because there is no catch, because some people simply love the way some people simply give, for no reason beyond the fact that you are you, and that turned out to be enough. You do not have to earn the right to stop bracing. You only have to risk believing once that the rain falling on you was always meant to reach you. I wrote about this man, the one who cannot believe his own worth, who reads every gift as a debt, who was never loved for simply existing, and so cannot trust the love that finally comes in Awaken Your Shadow.